Alright y'all, welcome back. It's been a long time since I've been in the woods chasing squirrels. I think it's about October was the last time. But I'm out here on the ridge tonight, a ridge, and I ain't been in here since last time I squirrel hunted. And I saw a pile of them in here then. On my way in here, I ended up spooking one. He ran down the ridge and got off the point, ran up a tree, and disappeared. I'm guessing he went into a hole. So I moved on down the back of it, kind of facing the way that he was, because in the early season, a lot of them was hanging out in the trees and stuff, but weren't up on top of, like more on top of the ridge. So I got kind of on the shelf of it, looking up on top. Up top, there's a bunch of laid down logs and stuff. There's logs on back. I just kind of sat back on this end today to just kind of observe. I don't really care about shooting any this morning. I more or less just want to watch. Squirrel was coming right to me. Anyway, I got set up on this log, and right at the end of this log, y'all see that? Put an arrow to it. Squirrel jumped out of it, and I'm just sitting here setting the camera up. He ran up a tree. He's in the hole right now, like 10 yards from me. I do got a GoPro on a rifle. I started to click it on and just shoot him right there, but I knew he wasn't going to stop, and I'm not going to shoot him on a run, you know what I mean? Ain't no sense in that. So, yeah, anyway, I let him go, and it's safe to say he's not going to be, I'm sure he'll poke his head out of the hole and all that, but he ain't going to come out of that hole. If he does, he's brave. But I hear another squirrel right here below me. So, anyway, I'm hunting with the 25 caliber Umarex Origin, my favorite PCP air rifle, besides the 30 cal Gauntlet. That thing is an absolute insane beast. But this is my favorite squirrel rifle out of the PCPs. I even got a Hatson flash. I paid like $500 for that thing, and I'd rather hunt with this thing than that Hatson, if that says anything. So yeah, anyway, like I say, I got you all on the scope. Hopefully the view is good and all that, and we're back, baby. I have waited forever for this, but I'm back in the woods chasing squirrels. I love it. I'm gonna put one in the chamber, and let's sit back and see how the morning unfolds. Y'all stay tuned.
So after I'd cut the camera, since the last time y'all seen me, I had a squirrel run up right dead behind me. In order for me to get him on camera, I had to spin the camera directly behind me, and then I had to spin all the way around, and I think he ended up seeing me when I did that.
Jeez, alright, as y'all can see, I just tried him at, I guess 75 yards is how far I dialed my scope up for, but from the looks of it, I might have shot way over him. He's actually back out there again, but I'm not going to shoot at him. There's been a lot of squirrels right here in this bottom. I actually had two of them come up and cross right here at about 10 yards from me. I couldn't get turned around, and I had this log blocking me to get around and shoot, and they had already went up and over, chasing each other, and went down over the hill. So what I'm gonna do, since I hear so many in this ravine, there's a big tree right here on the right. I'm gonna sneak over to it, get in front of it, and I'm gonna set and probably for about another hour and a half, somewhere in there, and see if we can at least round up one this morning. My biggest mistake I made this morning was I didn't set way back and observe. I just jumped straight in the middle, and it just happened to be right exactly where they all wanted to be at. I usually like to get set up on the, outskirts of where they're at, but this morning, I mean, they're just all right exactly where I'm setting, so. Oh well, they keep coming up, and I'm guessing they're seeing me or something. I don't know, but. Make a long shot on him. Here goes one up the other trees. I think that was his partner. 0 for 50. I drilled. I ended up drilling that one. I think I lunged him. That's what I was trying to shoot for. Hit him really, really hard. The only thing I'm nervous about is I don't know the exact yardage, but I stayed zeroed for 30. I was guessing right around 40, so I just aimed about a smidge high and hit him hard. So I'm gonna set back. I'm not gonna go down yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Keep an eye down there for a few. Here's one right here beside me at like 35. He's dead. That's about 33 yards. Dusted his head. He's just down there flopping. I can still see him barely. He is. I really can't. Having a hard time. He was right down in there last time I saw him flopping. That's number 2. Hopefully. That one's definitely dead though. I figured I'd mention real quick, I'm shooting H&N Hunter Barracudas. They're 27 grain pellets. About the same grain as the JSBs I was shooting. And that was during early season. As y'all know, them things are deadly. But I kind of like that hollow area in the middle. And I think they are just a little heavier than the JSBs that I've been shooting. So my thought was, it helped with the wind. And a lot of my shots I figured would be out at 50 this year. But both of these was under 50 yards. I'm gonna guess right around 40, more or less. But my bad, I done dropped y'all. Anyway, long story short, I don't know how good they're gonna do. I should at least find this one right here, 100%. This squirrel should be found. That one, it was an iffy shot, man. But I feel good. I feel like I hit him right where I aimed. Should have hit him right where I aimed. But we'll find out. Hopefully we're off to a good start for the late season. Not a bad one. Tired of bad ones. But I hear another squirrel way over on this other ridge. It's I guess I didn't shoot my first one until what, 9? Damn near, or this after 9. About 9:30. So pretty much about 9:15 is when I first shot my first squirrel this morning. Granted, I didn't get out until 8 o'clock. It was way after daylight, which is fine. I don't hunt right at daybreak usually in the mornings unless I got an area with a bunch of den trees in it. Which, I mean, there are a lot here, but I don't know the exact spots. Typically, I get in before daylight if it's towards the end of the season. And I know there's like 5 in one tree. I'll get in there before daylight, let them come out, and just keep picking them off. But if I don't know anything like that, I just come in. The next video will end up being a late season guide. I'm going to come out with one of them for y'all. That's about the most questions for squirrels I get asked is, how do I hunt them with an air rifle during late season? So, that's the very next video. Alright, y'all, I ended up setting for another about 10, 12 minutes. It's so calm out right now, besides I get like a strong, here it is now. Camera might be picking it up. But I get like a strong breeze coming off the back of my neck here. But besides that, it's super calm. I'm figuring they're probably hearing this air rifle. It's an air rifle, you know, but they can probably still hear it. I mean, it does have a good little poof to it. But I'm more or less worried about these squirrels. I want to make sure I got them for sure. So I'm going to sneak down, get them, and then, or, you know, see what kind of blood or whatever I got, and then ease out to another ridge. If these pellets ain't doing good, I'll just go back to the original. Actually, I think I see one of those squirrels. Hang on. Apologize for the shaky footage, but yeah, that's one of them. That's the one that I said that I pretty much was like aimed on the middle of the neck, because I think I pulled as I pulled the trigger. I was on his head, but let's go down, and he looked dead to me. I went ahead and zoomed in on him for a second. I'll probably sneak down to like 30 and then scope in on him. I'd say he's done. And then hopefully I can recover the one that I'm nervous about. But so far so good. Look like we got one down. He's done. Blood everywhere. These oh my. I mean, I'm gonna try to black and white the footage, but as y'all can see, it's all blood. All the way to him. Alright, hopefully y'all can see me. There he is. Hit him right through the side of the head. Dropped him immediately. So, I guess I didn't pull as much as I thought, but like I said, it had to either be head or neck, and it blew right through his ears. half decent sized gray squirrel, not a monster. But let's ease on over here, see if I can't find this other one. Y'all stay tuned. It would appear that I killed both of them. He ended up dying right where we last saw him, right up against the side of that tree. This one was a big squirrel. Look at where they've been down in here digging like crazy. All over. If y'all can see that big tree top, I'm actually gonna go get set up in it. Them other squirrels all went up in this big old beech tree, so I'm gonna get set up on the opposite end of them, and I'm just gonna spend the morning. I'll probably sit here until 11. I don't have nothing to do, so I'll probably just sit here until 11 o'clock this morning, and hopefully they'll come back down in here and start digging around. They must be looking for beech nuts. Seems to be all the trees around me. Well, besides this one's a great big old acorn tree here, so plenty of nuts right here. I think that's why all the squirrels was focused in right here on this bank this morning. Got a lot of laid down logs up on the bank right there. So let's pick him up, and then I'm gonna make my last setup right there for the morning hunt. Oh yeah, he's a medium sized one, not a absolute giant, but perfect. Come out low leg, it looks, but went in dead behind the shoulder. So, I mean, as y'all can see, the gun's deadly. Yardage might have been a little bit, like I say, I did guess this one at 40 some yards. And as you can see, I'm just a smidge low, but caught the lungs and he didn't go but 5 feet. And that was the end of him. But I'm gonna ease over silent as possible and get set up in these treetops. And let's see how look, there's even more scratching right there, that hole right there. I mean, just, they got these beech trees tore up in here, so.
Alright y'all, as you can see, we have the two from this morning. So I ended up sitting right there where y'all last saw me for about another hour, and I only seen 2 more squirrels. I could hear them for the longest time down over the ridge. When I told y'all I thought one was coming, there was 2 of them down in there, and they just kind of ran around chasing each other. But eventually I could hear them start coming my way. They're coming real quick, so I was like, alright, I gotta get ready. So I picked the camera up, I set it beside me, and as I'm trying to like zoom in and stuff on y'all's screen right now, you should see that log that I'm pointing down. They ran right down it, went over that ridge, and that was the end of that. And then I just snuck on back out and around these ridges, and I heard quite a bit of squirrels in areas that I'll be checking out later on in the season. But you know, as the season goes on, I'll be going into the areas and checking them. But I definitely heard a lot of squirrels off in the bottoms. But as of seeing any more, I did. I'm still allowed 4 more squirrels before I hit my limit. Here in Ohio, the daily bag limit's 6 squirrels, rather they're red, black, or combined. However, you're only allowed 6 of them, so I can come back in. I can kill 4 more tonight, and yeah, it's not as I tell you what we're gonna be heading and doing. I gotta go get some chores done around the house and stuff, and then I'll be back out here tonight.
Alright y'all, I'm set up for the evening. Depending on where these squirrels start moving at later, I'll make a move for the setup. But I'm allowed 4 more for the night, so hopefully here in a while they'll start moving. I was just sitting here. I could hear him coming, but I thought he was right here from the way the sound was. It sounded just like he was about to come up right here, so I'm just watching. And everything got silent and stuff. I sat here for like 3 minutes. Had the camera ready to hit play and zoom in and stuff. By that time, I just kind of looked. He's coming right up the log at like 6 yards from me, literally. He got on the other side of that log, and I don't know, I think the camera was on then. He was just on the other side, and I'm like, I'll just scratch in the leaves, make him jump up here. Well, he did it, but he barely peeked it. I mean, just could barely see the top of his head. And ended up like skylining me pretty much as soon as he got up there and jumped and ran. But so far, he is the only squirrel that I've seen on this ridge. I heard one down in there. I see it, 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 I see it. He's in range, he's in range. Oh. He was just now sitting in the wide open looking at me right there. I don't know how good this audio is right now, but he was only he's about 35 yards right there. Alright, y'all. I still got a few more minutes of legal light here, as y'all can see. Got a couple more minutes, but I've done. Oh, I thought that was him. I done looked around and all that for him. So I done made a bunch of racket, and I don't think I'll see any more tonight. But just to give you all a rundown of this evening, I sat over there forever in a day, and I didn't see much tonight. Honestly, it was nothing like I expected. I saw one way off in the bottom down there, so I watched him for a long time. I think I told you all pretty much this up until that point. I had that one come up the log, which was the one that I just shot at, right? Well, for the next, I'd say hour and 30 minutes, me and him, every time I'd get the camera on him and get ready to raise the rifle to shoot, he would go up the tree again. He kept doing it. And finally, right here, towards the end of the hunt, I decided, I said, I'm going to get up. I'm gonna ease around this little bank line right here, and I'm gonna get in this forks of these trees, and I'm like covered real good, you know, and I'm gonna wait on him. Well, he comes out again, and he does it to me again. I just start to raise the rifle up to shoot him. He takes off. And long story short, he come up there. I guessed him at 30. I had the gun zeroed in for 30 on the 30 mark. And I think I shot under him because he was way far, you know, a lot farther than what I thought. So. Alright, just to quickly update you all, I sat here waiting on this squirrel to come out, and as y'all seen, I shot one right here to the right of where this last one went. I could hear squirrels moving and stuff down in these bottoms, and I just happened to look at one come up a tree like 15 yards. So I start getting the camera ready. I hit play, starts going up this tree at like 15 yards, and then I look into the viewfinder, find him, and then like I look back and he's gone. So then I look on up, and all I see is the side of his head sticking like behind the tree but out. It's like, alright, you know, there he is, he's out on a branch. So I just slid it on up the tree, put the gun on him, bam! I could hear the pellet thumping, seen his nut go flying, and all of a sudden I hear what sounded like him going down the back of the tree running. And then all of a sudden you just hear a thump. And I sat here for a second, and then I'm thinking, well, it just sounded different than a squirrel getting hit, running down the tree, and then hitting the solid ground. It was like you could hear him falling in the middle of the tree, and that's what it is. I'm like 95% sure I just shot that squirrel while he was still in the hole, and he fell down the middle of the tree, and that burns me up. But like I say, I didn't know. I just thought that he had got up on a branch because, you know, by the time I just kept looking at this camera the whole time. I'd look at him real quick, see where he was, look at the camera. The whole time he was moving and stuff. And finally I could just see his head barely sticking out from what looked like behind the tree, like he was on a limb sticking out. But in reality, I'm like 95% sure that he was in the hole with the tree, and I shot him and he fell back in it. I hope he's on the backside of the tree. He very well could be. I might be in my head. I'm pretty sure he is. I don't see how he would have got to a hole without me seeing him. So it's been about 10 minutes ago since I shot at that one. And I was like, well, I'm gonna hit the quarters. Pulled out my 2 quarters, and I dropped my 1, but I pulled out these 2 quarters, and I started hitting them, and I'm facing this way, you know, because I'm waiting on this one to come out of this hole and come down a tree and whatnot. So I'm just calling away, right? Just hitting them. And then I looked right where the sun's shining, and I could see one go darting across the bank, and I was like, he's seen me. Like he done snuck up on me, and I wasn't paying attention, and he seen me. My GoPro was on. Oh, I'm having a doozy of a morning, but nonetheless, he saw me and he went up the tree right here. And I just ranged that tree at 33 yards. Literally, after I just seen him go. So I just keep calling. I don't stop. I just keep on making it sound like a squirrel eating a nut. And about that time, I see him going up it. Flip the GoPro on, set you guys. I'm pretty sure you're on him. like 95% sure. The sun had me in my eye. I couldn't look at the viewfinder that good. I'm pretty sure it was on him, and then I was getting ready to shoot, but there was a bunch of tree limbs, so I had to raise my body and then reposition on my knee to get a good rest. Shot, and I heard it thump him, and I watched him just drop straight out of the tree, so pretty sure I hit him right in the neck. That's where I was trying to go for, right through the neck, because I had a hole to shoot through about that big. Seeing what's going on. Like I say, I'm going to do a video. The next video y'all see will be me, calling and showing y'all how I run my quarters and all that. It'll be a fall tip guide on how to kill them. That right there don't prove that you can call squirrels in quarters. I don't know what does. Literally no edit, no nothing. I'm not editing a single bit of that footage. I was just sitting here calling, and I was just gonna cut the camera, and I looked, and here he come, just like they do, running right at me. And he had seen me, jumping up on a tree. I'm in a wide open, besides up against this oak. And I had to spin the camera around. When I did, he ran to the exact spot that one was earlier that I shot. And I don't know how good the camera picks it up, but even through my scope, when I looked at him again, it looked just like he's sitting on a branch. But in reality, there's a hole up there. There is a hole. I actually got to see the back of his tail. I see him right now. He just stuck his head back out. But there's actually a hole up there. And I seen his tail like straighten directly out when he went in. It's like towards the back of the tree. And I couldn't see the other one when he did that. But I know for sure there's a hole up there now, so I'm not shooting unless I get a full body shot. I could have definitely shot him, but no point in shooting him because all he's going to do is fall down in the tree and I can't get to him. So I'm not shooting him unless he comes completely out. But he really don't know what happened. Like I say, he just seen me as all it was, and he just couldn't tell what I was. So it spooked him, of course, but. Alright, y'all, I've sat here for about an hour and a half now, and that squirrel never did come back out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease down here and try and see. Hopefully, I'm hoping and praying that even if he did fall in the tree, that he's laying in the bottom. Like say the center of the tree's all hollowed out and he's just laying there, I can get him. But or hopefully he was like I thought he was, and he's laying on the back. Like I said, there is another one in there. I mean, I filmed him and stuff, but I wasn't shooting because I know 100% he was in a hole. I watched him go in and then poke his head out. So anyways, like I say, I'm gonna sneak down. I ain't heard no more squirrels. I ain't even heard squirrels barking off in the distance since the last one. And if anyone's wondering, I'm using a Umarex Origin 25 caliber air rifle. His thing is a budget PCP, but I'm telling you, it's nasty. I got too much respect for him. A lot of people would have shot both of them squirrels and just hoped they would have kicked themselves out and stuff, but not me. I got too much respect for him. I'm not going to be shooting them if I can't recover them. Like I said, there's people out there that would have and just hope they would have kicked themselves out. But then when they don't, you know what I mean? What's the point? You can't get him. So just might as well let him go. Come back another day, try to get him. Right there. I know it's super hard to see. But I hit him right where that little black dot is. I'll point an arrow to it. And then it came out of his intestines. But there, as y'all can see, that's him from this morning. It's a big old squirrel. I guess he's a lot bigger than what I thought. But that's 2 shot, 1 recovered. Unfortunately, like I said, I shot that one in the hole. I mean, I can't believe that. I thought he was on a branch, but you know, at least I got knowledge next time that if one comes out like that, I know there's a hole in that tree. So I heard 4 or 5 squirrels going down in them bottoms. So I think tonight should be a pretty good hunt down in there. I'm gonna try to position myself close to that area I hunted this morning, but not right on top of it or anything. I'm gonna try to go, I'd say about 150 yards away from there, towards where the squirrels was going. I'm not saying I'm gonna see any of them tonight, but try to position myself in like a thick area so I can get some calling in, and hopefully I can call some in tonight and not get seen like I did this morning. Well, it seems like the majority of the squirrels are up on the ridges. I can hear a bunch of them up there running around. So, like right now, I'm about to get up. The wind's starting to pick up again. I'm going to try to move up a good 75 yards, and it should put me within 40. And hopefully I can steal the deal. But as of right here, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't heard nothing either. So, but I've heard them up here a lot. So I'm going to move on up the ridge. It's just so loud, that's why I'm waiting on the wind to pick up so I can move without being heard. Alright, y'all, I'm in position. The wind didn't do like I wanted. I waited and waited, it wouldn't do nothing, so I just pretty much kept creeping until I got right here. Now I'm just looking up this wee little ravine here, and I think this is right here is where I heard them all. Looks like the majority of my shots are going to be within 30 yards of me, so that's good. But I'll sit back and see what happens here. I hear a squirrel running across the top of this ridge up here. Try to get the dot on him, arrange one of these trees up here by where I heard him. Oh yeah, looking at about 32 yards. He sounds like he's like 30 yards. I can barely hear him hopping around along the very edge of it. I just can't see up over. Oh, I'm glad I did that. Didn't have my scope open. Alright. Right here, right here, right here, I see him. I think he's just out of range. He's about 40 yards away. I'm gonna turn y'all around. There's 2 of them.
So while the camera was cut, I ended up hitting the quarters, and immediately I had this one come to my left. Now, right now, y'all can't see him. He's setting up on an old dead limb right behind that great big tree on the screen there. But while I was watching him, I had two of them come running right at me about 15 yards and stopped side by side on a log looking at me. And I'll pretty much just forward you all into the ones in front of me for now. Then as I look back to my left, I see the other one that I originally had called in coming down a tree in between two roots. So I get spun around, get the camera on him, and here's what's happening.
So much just happened while the camera was cut off. Let me make sure y'all can even see me. Yes. I called on video. Y'all can probably hear I was calling to these ones. About that time, I mean, this one here come flying down over the ridge towards me. And I was like, oh crap. So I look at him, he goes up a tree beside me, like they do when you call them in. They go up and just sit there. Well, he does it. He's looking, trying to figure out where the sound's coming from. So I ease the quarters in my pocket. I ease the gun up. I got to pick the camera up and over. So I move the camera on this side, set it down. Then he goes on up the tree and he sees me, kind of backs around the back. And I'm like, dang it, I can't get on him. So he's there, right, just chilling. Well, about that time, two of them, I don't know if the audio picked it up, come right down the ridge right here to this log. This log right here, this one right there, is at 19 yards. They sat side by side like this, looking towards my way. And then they kind of cross paths with each other, and one of them goes up on the green log. And I was like, I got him. As a matter of fact, I'll range it. I didn't range it. I'm going to be dead honest with y'all. He was 34 yards away. I put it dead on him, squaz the trigger, and looked like I shot low. He takes off running. I was like, dang it. The bounce, my adrenaline's going a little bit, so my dot's bouncing, whatever. I miss him. He goes up, and the other one goes up to the right. About that time, I look back at this one. He's done come back around the tree, to see what the commotion is, and then he starts moving, and that's when he got in that fork. And I missed him right there. Beautiful. A red dot is hard to use for me, I'm telling you. Paper looked beautiful, but out here in the real world, that's tough. I put it right on his head, and I squeezed that trigger, missed him. He got in a fork second shot. Because I'm dialed in at 30. He was 26 yards. So the next shot, I put it right at the bottom of his chin, and I shot, thumped him, and he rolled a little bit and stuff like that. So I cocked again, I shot him again, going up for the neck, because I think he's facing away. I called him in with the quarters. These came. It took them forever, but this one was the first one. I had just got the camera and was sitting here, and it just running right at me. I thought it was a deer for a minute the way it was coming, and I saw it jump up, and I was like, oh, a squirrel right here on me. But in the end, I ended up getting him. I think I missed that one. I'm going to go up and check. I'm pretty sure he acted normal. I think I shot under him, but that was all I wanted to do, was just get one with it. I'm going to take it off and put a scope. I don't know if I want to do the 0 reset scope or not. back on the gun. I might put my zero reset back in on it and sight her in tomorrow. I come up here and I have no blood, no squirrels, no nothing anywhere. So my theory is, just from what I've saw and stuff, I missed the first one I shot at right here on this limb. Missed him. I definitely missed one on the log because he had to run across the ground for 10 yards. No blood anywhere on it, which, like I say, he acted like I missed him. He's just kind of bouncing around the tree. The last one, on the other hand, I am about 90% sure I shot that squirrel. I've been around this tree 30 times through tons of stuff. They got holes going all up and down it. I think that's why there's so many up in here, because it's a den tree. So I'm hoping I missed him, because I mean, if I can't get him now, I don't want him to be in there suffering or whatever. But I don't know. I have to replay the footage at home and check. But like I say, I've been around this tree dozens of times doing stuff like that, shaking branches, just trying to get him to run if he is in there. But I'm guessing he has a hole, because I ain't seen him anywhere. But all in all, besides that last shot, it's been a good night. Like I say, I am done with the red dot though. It's fun and all, and hunting with it, and it's sweet to look down the dot and put it on a squirrel, and it really wasn't that the dot was too big, because I could clearly see squirrel's head in my dot. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's where I'm not used to. Let me get across this creek. I don't know. I'm going over here, check on this one. He's down for sure. I watched him go down. We do have one. This is the one I caught in. It's a great big old, monster. Give him Alright, y'all, the camera do it itself. He is shot in the eye once, which is where I was aiming. And from right now, that's all I can see. Potentially low chest, but for sure one of them was in the eye. There's a squirrel right there. Like I say, y'all, I'm not gonna shoot him. I could. There he went over the bank, but I could. But I'm done with this red dot. I just don't feel, like I say, on target, I felt fine. I was confident. I was hitting just anything, man. I could hit anything with that thing. Yeah, they planked with it all day today. Come out here and it's just a whole different ball game. So, like I say, I managed to do it. That's really all I wanted, was one squirrel with this, and that's it. This right here will be the last squirrel I'll ever kill with a red dot. So y'all just witness history. But with that, I want to thank y'all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. It's actually pretty decent footage. I'm pretty stoked about the footage, and hopefully I don't know how it'll turn out in the end, but I tell you what, it was beautiful footage making it. Squirrels hunting's just heating up though, so y'all can believe I will be back hunting them hard real soon. But with that, I just want to thank y'all for watching. This has been Huntfishohio Outdoors. I'm your host, Trey, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.
I got him.